Please be seated. Good evening, I'm Mike Bennett. It will be 13 years next Thursday, September 11th, that the horrific attacks took the lives of many innocent people, including first responders. Many of us remember where we were and what we were doing when we heard about the attacks. Let us now pause for a moment of silence to remember the men and women who lost their lives in the attacks, the people who tried to save them, and our military men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Tonight's concert is not only a remembrance concert, it is an opportunity for all of us as combined communities to honor our local first responders. Where would we be without the selfless service of our fire, rescue, police, and military personnel? We seldom reflect on the need that might arise in our families and communities for the services of our local police, fire, and rescue. Let us not forget the men and women in our military who protect us and ensure our freedom. All of our emergency responders give selflessly and risk their lives to help and protect us. Would all the men and women that serve and have served in the past in the capacity of police, fire, rescue, and military, please stand. We want you to know that we are very grateful for the work that you have done and continue to do. We want to extend our warmest thanks for helping and protecting us. Please join me in giving them a heartfelt round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Nina and Gina have put together a great musical program for your listening pleasure this evening. We didn't want this to be a somber evening. We want this to be uplifting. We hope you enjoy the concert. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Nina Oli Walsh, conductor of the Italian Heritage Center Concert Band.
So, welcome, everyone. And what a wonderful opening to this event tonight. It's such a powerful thing to see all of you first responders and the color guard bringing in the colors and to present in such a way. So, it just really sets the wonderful tone for this evening's performance. And as Mike said, this is not meant to be a somber occasion, and we have a lot of sort of fun and some of it rather silly music, and we hope that you will enjoy it. And we're going to kick it off first with a tango from Argentina. And this one is entitled El Choclo, which means ear of corn, and supposedly was named after an owner of a local cantina who supposedly went by the nickname El Choclo. So this is an Argentinian tango. Enjoy. So we're going to stay in the realm of dance music with our next number as well. This piece is entitled The Girl from Ipanema, and the story goes that it was written based on a girl from Ipanema. And she was a 15-year-old local who used to walk daily on her way doing errands for her mother past this little cantina where the composers supposedly used to spend a lot of time. And that they were inspired by her loveliness to write this song. Well, that wasn't really the true story. The true story is that they wrote this song originally as part of a musical, and then they actually did, at some point in the future, encounter this lovely young lady from Ipanema. Her real name was Heloise Pinto, and that she and the song were eventually connected, and she became very famous as a result. So it's kind of a fun little story, and it's a great bossa nova, and we're going to invite Lynn Bourne McKella to come up, and she's going to be our girl from Ipanema this evening.
You only have to listen to the first few lyrics to know it's not about me. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes says, ah. When she walks, it's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently that when she passes, each one she passes says, ah. Oh, but he watches so sadly. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at he. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see. But she doesn't see, she just doesn't see, no, she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see.
So Lynn will be joining us for a couple more numbers later in the program, but I think we can give her another round of applause on a nice job on. So I couldn't see what she was doing out front during the section where the band was playing and she wasn't singing. Last night in rehearsal, she's been doing some nice little, yeah, so, yeah. All right, so I promised you a little silliness, and this next piece is definitely in that category. This is entitled The Hunting Scene, and it's exactly that. It's a programmatic work intended to describe the English countryside, which you will hear early in the morning. The birds are awaking. Please watch the percussion section closely for that's where the birds are hanging out. And then we're getting ready for the hunt. So this is supposed to portray a traditional English fox hunt. And so you'll hear the call of the trumpets, and then you'll hear that the hunters are off in pursuit of the fox, and you may hear a fox here and there, or the dogs barking. And then the hunters are successful, we think, and then they return home. So it's just a fun little piece. And a composer of a band many, many years ago, it was a favorite of his. I think his name was Leonard Smith. And they used to do it, perform it outdoors in a concert park setting. And one of his favorite stories was, one of the sections is the trumpet is doing the call, and he had sent one of the trumpeters off in the distance to do sort of the response to the other trumpet player. And he was waiting to hear it, and it never came. And the trumpeter came back later, and he was really angry at him. He said, "What happened?" And he said, "Well, a policeman stopped me and told me I couldn't play because there was a concert going on." So, anyway, this is The Hunting Scene. So I was told by one of our band members when we started rehearsing this piece that I'm developing a reputation for picking pieces where there's animal noises being made. So, but that one was just fun and silly, wasn't it? Yeah, we have a good time playing it too. All right, so we're going to invite Lynn up to the podium again for our next number. This is a tune written by Gershwin, Embraceable You, and first was performed in the 1928 Broadway show Girl Crazy, and performed by Ginger Rogers to a dance choreographed by Fred Astaire. And it's been sung by a lot of other people. Many of us may know the version sung by Judy Garland in the film version of that same show. And lots of other people have sung it. Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, recorded it. Louis Prima, of all people, recorded it. And Billie Holiday recorded it. Her version was actually inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2005. So it's just a wonderful tune, and we're really pleased to have Lynn. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to set you up like that. But so here's our very own. Would you like to be Ginger Rogers or Judy Garland? Or Billie Holiday? I don't know. Take your pick. So Lynn Bourne McCalla and Embraceable You.
No pressure. Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, my irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grows tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama, do. My sweet embraceable you. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama, do. My sweet embraceable you.
one more time for Lynn. Our very own Judy Garland. All right, so we're going to take a trip to Broadway and the movies with this next piece. This is a new one for the Italian Heritage Band. We've been playing it all summer, and I've really enjoyed it. It's entitled Selections from Mary Poppins. How many people have seen Mary Poppins? All right, I probably see fewer ones. How many people have not seen Mary Poppins? Is there anybody who, oh, there's one, there's two. Anybody upstairs, have you not seen Mary Poppins? All right, there's a couple. I think it was just, it actually just celebrated its 50th anniversary. August 27th, 1964 is when the film came out. And I won't tell you how old I was, but I was pretty young. And, but I do remember seeing it when I first came out. I remember my mother probably took me. And I loved the music from it. And then in 2013, a movie came out about the making of Mary Poppins, and that was Saving Mr. Banks, starring Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks. And I watched that. I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy it, but it was really a very good movie, and it reminded me a lot about the music that came from Mary Poppins. And so I started looking for an arrangement for the band that we could play, and I found this one, and we've really enjoyed it. So this is Selections from Mary Poppins. So before I do our last number on the first half of our program, I just want to say a little bit about the folks behind me, because without them, we wouldn't be here. And this is the combined group of the Alumni Band of Biddeford and the Italian Heritage Center Band of Portland, based in Portland. And we've been doing this joint concert, as Mike said, this is our 13th year. And it was Mike's idea, so we can blame it on him, always. He puts in a lot of time in working and putting this together and contacting all the various first responder departments and just organizing the whole thing. So we really appreciate all of the effort. It's become sort of his baby. So we want to thank Mike for all of his hard work. And it's always an amazing concert to do because we've had 3 rehearsals. This group got together Wednesday before this week, and then Wednesday of this week and Friday, and that was it. And not everybody was able to attend all 3 rehearsals. So this is probably the first time we've all been together to perform this concert. So I think it's a pretty amazing thing to put this group of people together. They work hard, they give their time and effort, and they deserve a big round of applause. And they're here because they're having a good time, too, as I'm sure you can see by the looks on their faces. Did you see the percussion back there during the hunting scene making all those bird calls? Although I didn't hear the crow. Where was the crow, Leslie? Was he there? Oh, okay. So Leslie makes the best bird sounds of anybody. All right, so we're going to end our second program with this next piece, and it's also a lot of fun. The saying goes that 2 Jewish boys met in Hollywood, and the scene of music was changed forever. And Lieber and Stoller, they sort of melded a bunch of different popular forms together, blues, rock, and just sort of created this new style of music. And Smokey Joe's Cafe is a review of 39 of their songs. This is a collection of some of them. I'm sure many of them you will recognize, if not all of them. So this is Smokey Joe's Cafe. So we're going to take about a 10-minute intermission, and then we'll be back with more. Thank you.
It's all yours.
Thank you. Unaccustomed as I am. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to take a moment to thank both bands for their donation of time for this remembrance, one we shall never forget. To me, it will rank right up there with Pearl Harbor and Kennedy's assassination. Each of us, in our own way, remembers the scenes that unfolded 13 years ago. Through this concert, we remember those killed and wounded. We also honor those who protect us. Police, fire, rescue, those in uniform who stand on our shores and go overseas and stand on theirs. You may also remember August 30th, 2000. At that time, the church that was standing here was destroyed, and the food pantry in it was destroyed, and that we thought was the worst. Now you can look at the church. It has risen. It has come back through determination. In words now, I would like to impart with you the determination of the Saco Food Pantry. Since its opening in November 1982, 32 years ago, I imagine at that time they were helping 50 people a month. By the time I joined in 1996, they were up to 300 a month. Last year, the average count was 600 a month plus because you and others were able to provide us with enough food last year to feed 3,964 families, or when counting their dependents, 8,948 people. Because you and others care, in the first 8 months of this year, we have been able to help 1,486 families, or with their dependents, 3,392 people. Because you and others care, we are able to provide all those people based on our operating rule of thumb, 40,704 meals to be prepared at home. Many of you here tonight remember Bryce Milne. He was my friend, my neighbor. He was my mentor. He was the temporary chairman of the food pantry for over 20 years. I mark temporary. After the destruction of the church and the pantry, he was the one that said to a woman, "Don't worry, the food pantry is like a phoenix rising from the ashes." Tonight, I finish his statement by saying, you and others like you are the wind beneath its wings. Speaking on behalf of the board, all the volunteers who work in your stead, all those who you so graciously help with your support, thank you and God bless. Now, I'll turn the mic over to Ms. Nina Oakley Walsh.
So I'm going to open up the second half, and then I'm going to turn over to Jeannie, the conductor for the Alumni Band. And this next piece was written by Edwin Franco Goldman, and he was a very prominent conductor and composer of band music in the early 20th century, and just wrote a lot of great music, a lot of marches, and just known to be a wonderful person all the way around. But he was also a fire buff, and he was made an honorary member of the New York Fire Department. And he wrote this next piece in honor of firefighters everywhere. So this is entitled Third Alarm March.
Thank
And with that piece, we normally have a siren, but I think we're having technical difficulties. The siren is not working tonight, so anyway. So it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome to the podium next. This is Jeannie McDonald Johnson, conducting the second half of our program. So welcome, Jeannie.
All right, so this evening we're going to start out my part of the concert with Believe from the Polar Express. This song was composed by Glenn Ballard and Alan Silvestri and was originally part of the Polar Express soundtrack. The composers were rewarded with a Grammy Award and were nominated for the Academy Awards and a Golden Globe. Both composers are fairly well known for their work in films like The Avengers, Back to the Future, and Beowulf. Ballard even produced a solo album of Idina Menzel's music, and you might know her as Elsa from the movie Frozen. So I'd like to welcome Lynn back to the stage.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling like bells in the distance. We were children not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it in each other every day. Believe in what your heart is saying, hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste, there's too much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to their journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it in each other every day. Believe in what your heart is saying, feel the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste,
Our next piece is a medley from a documentary television series called Victory at Sea. It aired from 1952 until 1953. 26 episodes documented naval combat during World War II. Richard Rodgers composed the score. It was conducted by Robert Russell Bennett, who's well known as the arranger for musicals like The King and I, and South Pacific, and was originally performed by the NBC Symphony Orchestra. Next up is a piece called Solus Ane by Sam Hazo. He wrote this piece to commemorate the retirement of a celebrated music teacher from Illinois. The title is Gaelic and translates to Yesterday's Joy. Okay, now for some audience participation. Next up is the Armed Forces Salute, and it celebrates each branch of the military by playing their theme. So when you hear your branch's theme, if you are currently serving or have served, would you please stand up so that the audience can recognize you? You'll notice some of the band members standing up or giving us a wave as well. And we'd like to thank you very, very much for your service to our country. So here is the Armed Forces Salute. Next up is an oldie but a goodie, God Bless America. This piece was originally written by Irving Berlin, who is also known for writing Blue Skies, White Christmas, and Alexander's Ragtime Band. Lynn will join us once again to sing the first verse, and then we invite you to join us for the second verse. Let's welcome Lynn back to the stage.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the light with the night from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Now you have to join me on this same verse. God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Nice job. Very nice. Thank you for the help.
Could we give Lynn one more round of applause? She's so good. All right, at this time, I'd like to welcome Nina back up to the podium to close out our concert. Thank you.
So we have one last number for you, and I'm going to talk a little bit because we have to get some logistics in place. So it was really, I don't get a chance to just sit and listen to music very often. I seem to be mostly in the middle of creating it in some way or another, either conducting or performing. And so as I was sitting listening, and I was sitting very close, so I could really feel the physical effects of just the vibration of sound coming from the band. And it made me think about what a miraculous thing music is. I mean, if you just think about, you know, you put something in your mouth and you blow and something comes out that is beautiful to listen to. And then you do that with a whole bunch of different things that you blow into and you put it all together and you have something that you've been listening to for the last hour and a half or so. And it's just a miraculous thing if you think about it, really. I take it for granted because I do it all the time. But when you think about that, I mean, how did we create that? And why did we create that? And how blessed we are to have that. And I found a quote, just came across this purely just by spending time on the internet, probably goofing around. But I really liked it, and I found it a week or so ago as we were preparing for this concert. So I'd like to read it to you, and it's from Robin Williams, who recently very sadly passed away. And he had this to say about music. He said, "You know what music is? It's God's little reminder that there's something else besides us in this universe, harmonic connection between all living beings, everywhere, even the stars." And I just thought that was pretty profound. And you think about the word connection and music. It connects us in so many ways, both in sound, but also in just ways that we come together because of music. I mean, look at all of us here today. I mean, how many of us would ever be in the same room all together at the same time if it wasn't for being here to celebrate this with music? So it's a wonderful thing that we have. I think that we forget about it. It's so much in the background of our life all the time, and we can take it for granted, myself included. So I was just reminded in a big way sitting here listening about what a miraculous thing it is that we have here. And I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you before we finish tonight. So we have a great number to close our program. It's entitled Patriotic Finale, and I think it's very appropriate that the person who brought this piece of music to us is Mike Bonnet, who for the last 2 years has been participating in a group called the Second Time Arounders, and they reside in St. Petersburg, Florida, and they are known for being the largest permanent adult marching band in the world. And how many numbers? I think about a couple hundred, 250, somewhere around there. And they performed this piece at the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. this spring, and Mike participated in that, and he thought it'd be a great way to close our program, and I agree. So this is Patriotic Finale.
Wow, what a night. Thank you very much. I mean, it's so powerful to see this place full, and it's been a really fun night for us, really emotional and fun. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming to our 13th annual Remembrance Concert. Please give the Alumni Band, which you already did, but I wrote it, so we might as well read it, right? Please give the Alumni Band, conducted by Jeannie McDonald Johnson, the Italian Heritage Center Concert Band, conducted by Nina Lee Walsh, and Lynn Bourne McKellar, our vocalist, who did a tremendous job tonight. Please give them a big round. We also want to thank Bob Nichols and the volunteers of the Saco Food Pantry for their tireless work in helping feed our hungry. We especially want to thank all of the first responders and military personnel here with us tonight. You made it a real special night, a lot of fun for us. And finally, you, the audience, we are truly grateful for your commitment, support, in attending tonight's concert. We'd like to thank the Saco Police Honor Guard for being here tonight in their special capacity. Very professional, did a great job. Thank you very much. I would like to ask them to now retire our colors. Please stand. Make sure you obey the speed limits on the way home because they're out there, all right? So, thank you again for coming.